Another day and another chance to show the world that we are not only gentlemen, but also gentlemen who like to pump the gas to the floor. The game was Infogrames Micro Machines. The task? To reenact the game in the most direct way possible by racing in go-karts at the Brands Hatch Daytona track in Acton. The track was all ready, waiting, and incredibly pink, especially for our chosen gas man, Mr. Stuart Hillary Mesham. Stu loves cars almost as much as he... well, let's just say that he's full of love for most things, and cars are up there in his top 10, right next to fat bulldogs or neckerchiefs and the smell of fresh turpentine. Unfortunately, he doesn't particularly love or even like being on time. The track staff were left waiting for what seemed like an eternity, as were the developers of the game. But as the great man always says, the party doesn't start until he gets there. So what's the rush? His opponents didn't seem to mind anyway, and were quite happy to pass their time by adorning new and colorful outfits, whilst working on some dance routines. But we had sent our own resident colorful character to compete, and hopes were high for another Play Sports success story. We take the idea of a big man in a small car extremely seriously, and so did Stu. The man was all about the race. Or at least he would be once he managed to find the other racers. Or even the track. The cream of the country's video game journalist elite were ready and waiting, but since we already had our interview time booked with the game's developers, we decided to race first and ask questions later. A quick change into some racing leathers later, and we're off. There was no honor amongst drivers in this race, but it didn't stop our man from proving that when it comes to speed, the fearless man is king. Way to go, Mr. Mesham. You fearlessly beat off the opposition until they knew they were beaten. Now to get to grips with Micro Machines developers for a good and hard Q&A session. Okay, let's start with something simple. Like, who the hell are you people?
Hi, I'm Mark, one of the programmers.
I'm Matt, I'm a games designer.
And Rick, the lead artist.
I'm Glob, I'm the senior designer. I want to be Glob, I don't want to be Sean.
Okay, boys, tell us about the game.
Micro Machines involves 8 different characters with 5 vehicles each, over 24 levels of multiplayer fun.
And what's new in the improved PS2 version of Micro Machines?
For everybody who doesn't like, or can't get to grips with driving down screen, things like that, you can now view it from behind, and you've got longer tracks with hangers in as well, so you can change vehicle mid-race.
There's also a bomb tag mode where up to 4 people can race around and try and blow each other up with a travelling bomb. And in the GP modes there's coins to collect that will open a series of 10 or 11 different bonuses and cheats that we've included in the game.
You seem to have put more characters into this version. Is this true, or are we seeing things?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from a concept point of view, I always felt that the Micro Machines franchise, the player didn't have any empathy with the vehicles at all, so we wanted to include some characters to give the player someone to attach to, but also to give the vehicles some theme and some of the environments a theme, so just to give it more of a stylistic element.
What was wrong with the other games, and how have you taken this into account?
I don't think they did anything wrong, because they were all really successful games, but I mean, on a personal level, I found some of the mechanics that the old games used frustrating, and from a design point of view we wanted to try and distance ourselves from the old franchise anyway, but we want to keep that frantic fun gameplay but just simplify it a little bit and make it more straightforward, communicate more with the players and just offer up more options.
Obviously with the extra power of the PS2 as well, we can make it look a lot better. There's a lot more polish to the game. It's really beautiful looking.
Polish?
Polish.
Are there any elements you're particularly pleased with?
There are 2 things that I love about this game. One is Danger Ranger's tit-warming pants.
Pick me for truth, for justice, for adventure.
And the other is a pair of obscenely hairy legs in the barn level.
Absolutely revolting.
Alrighty then. You guys look just great. Yes, you do. Have you all come as your favorite characters?
Yeah, no, we are our favourite characters, I think, apart from Mark, who
I wanted to dress as little as possible. As we get away with.
Wanted to see him in leather trousers.
I'm Miami Mike. He's like an 80s sort of very, very cheesy, badly dressed type person.
I'm Grizzly Beard. I'm an Australian outback kind of gung-ho explorer.
Sounds northern.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm not Australian. Kind of good looking through jungles for adventure and stuff like that.
I'm Danger Ranger, who's a failed superhero stroke stuntman. He thinks he's real cool, but at the end of the day he's a complete imbecile with really high pants.
What?
Frankenstein basically doesn't say very much.
But he is allowed to drive. That's reassuring. Thanks, guys, for allowing us an insight into yourselves and your game. Do you have any final words for all the Play TV viewers out there?
He's got a very saggy scrotum.